Good evening, classmates and Professor Goodsall. My name is Nichol Albertson, and I'll be presenting to you tonight a justification of our team choice for the learning management system known as Edmodo. During this presentation, I will be discussing the following points. Whether or not our course can be hybrid or online, I contend our imagination is the limit. The question of what types of media Edmodo might be compatible with leads me to the conclusion that no media will be left behind. The system Edmodo is ideally learner-centered and teacher-guided. This is an optimal design. There are many advantages to the use of Edmodo that I will be discussing with the team. And there are several disadvantages that we must be aware of as we move forward with our choice. Finally, I conclude this presentation with the research and theory behind the practice and use of Edmodo. And I hope that at the end of this presentation, you'll conclude that Edmodo was a good choice for a learning management system and personal learning environment for our students. In the question of whether or not we want to use a hybrid course versus an online course, one advantage that we have with the use of Edmodo is that it can be used in either environment. A hybrid learning environment will utilize conferencing, two-way video and chat, one-way video and two-way chat, group editing, meeting, all surrounding problem-solving opportunities outside of the online presence of the course. In a strictly online class, we could potentially include many of those same tools and resources, as well as problem-solving opportunities in the form of case studies and scenarios performed in group collaboration and individually, using Edmodo as the platform for sharing our research, discussions, and so forth. The Edmodo learning management system is also ideally suited for reuse among different courses. So the shell of the learning environment will stay the same, and it's a familiar social networking environment, while the content will be changed as the classes and course administrators change. In this type of learning environment also, it's important to note that Edmodo is conducive for a co-teaching approach. So two teachers at a distance, two educators at a distance, can work together to guide the course instruction using the Edmodo platform. And that would be in an online setting or in a hybrid setting. So really Edmodo, my argument is Edmodo can be used in either a hybrid or an online setting. I think it's important also to note that the sociocultural setting that is equally as important as the physical and digital setting. And the sociocultural setting using Edmodo, as I mentioned, it being more of a social networking approach to education, there's a clear interaction between course administrators, educators, and the learners. Putting the educators and the learners in a collaborative relationship of peers. So as I mentioned previously, the social media aspect of Edmodo. Along with this idea is the idea that we can digitally share research, resources, and information in a wide variety of media formats. We can post messages, discussion topics. Educators can assign and grade classwork and share digital content such as links, pictures, videos, documents, and presentations. Many of the tools of Edmodo are adaptable and can be used in conjunction with blogs, wikis. We can use the Edmodo platform to, as I previously stated, host simulation and case study work environments in team or individual settings. The discussion boards may be threaded. And the sharing of media and files allows for the development of portfolios and encourages and fosters online inquiry. You'll see here the format is very familiar, and as it is used by the educator and the learning community, it becomes the personal learning environment of the user. So the user will see a feed, will see connections, can link out to other groups and organizations, and can create a networking catalog of resources. And as we get into the conversation of theory and the research that supports these best practices, we'll see that the Edmodo platform and its personal learning environment advantages support the theory of connectivity and demonstrate, really, the theory of connectivity. So clearly, this Edmodo platform is learner-centered, but it is important to note that it's teacher-guided. The learner has many choices to make in what to share, how to share, and who they will be connecting with. The teacher guides the course, posts the assignments, creates the discussion threads, and monitors the use of the Edmodo platform. But it is definitely learner-centered and adaptable. So it's accessible from any mobile device. It's developed by the user under the guidance of the instructor, but beyond the scope of what the instructor is set out. So the learner has a choice in the direction of their own learning. And so that demonstrates self-directed learning. So a personal learning environment describes the tools, communities, and services that constitute the individual educational platforms. And Edmodo is adaptable and can be used with a wide range of these tools and throughout these communities. The advantages of Edmodo are many. It's ad-free and a secure working environment. It is free of cost. It has a familiar format that most people can begin to use without too much need for deep support, because they are already familiar with the format. The ability to share content in a wide range of media formats. It's immediate two-way communication and a platform for sharing ideas. There's a calendar feature. It fosters a co-teaching environment and a collaborative learning environment. And it is mobile ready. Some potential issues with Edmodo lie in the student's self-direction. So students are able to post off topic and can create threads that are not immediately monitored by the instructor. So the instructor has to guide the use of Edmodo and create the guidelines for the course. Clearly, students must be educated in copyright laws while using Edmodo and in the sharing of media. And in this day and age of Facebook, it's possible that the social networking aspect of the course may be overemphasized by students. So again, the instructor will have to set the course guidelines and for the use of Edmodo. And it's clearly, as with any technology integration in education, one disadvantage could potentially be an economic disadvantage for those students who do not have ready access to the resources and means to use Edmodo as the main platform for their learning. So, students clearly must have a computer and must have the technological requirements, meet the technological requirements for the course. So the research supports the use of a tool such as Edmodo. And so several learning theories can be referenced in the practices and resources and tools that you find in Edmodo. So it is a social environment. It is a collaborative environment, and it, depending on the course content, can be a problem-solving environment. And all of these things are supported in the theories of social constructivism and how people learn socially in problem-solving environments. The theory of transactional distance by Michael Moore takes this theory a little further into distance education. And according to Moore's theory, learning is an active process. It happens through language and other social tools, which clearly we see in the use of Edmodo. And these, the language and the social tools aid in the construction of knowledge, and knowledge must be subject to social discussion. Edmodo is clearly a discussion-based platform. And it requires validation in the context of real-world applications. So in the way the course is delivered using the Edmodo platform, that's how we can get these real-world applications. Now, taking that further into the theory of connectivity, the theory of connectivity for online learning suggests that a network of information, contacts, and resources are applied to real problems and thereby construct knowledge. So this theory of connectivity takes things much more into the online realm, and we see that in the home screen of Edmodo, where you can connect with, the user can connect with groups, the user can connect with the educator, the user can post assignments. The user can take assessments and see grades and receive feedback. The user can collaborate with other members. The user can post and receive media and resources. And all of these things create a network of knowledge. And so we see this theory of connectivity really coming alive with the Edmodo platform. Of course, the theory of Noel's theory of andragogy suggests that distance learning requires a climate for learning and the organizational structure for participation within learning groups, and as well as diagnosis of learning needs. And I think Edmodo supports this and can be used with best practices that are supported by the theory of andragogy. Some of those best practices include group work is entirely possible on the Edmodo platform. And the instructor organizes the course for participation in these groups using discussion. And of course, it's imperative that the instructor creates guidelines and norms for the way that those discussions go, and that will create the conducive learning environment. I think research supports our choice in the use of Edmodo. I think it's an exciting platform that has potential for a long future because it is so adaptable and familiar. Please don't hesitate to contact me with questions regarding the use of Edmodo, and I will do my best to answer those questions. And as we move forward in implementation of Edmodo, we'll be sure to remember that training and the sharing of ideas will be critical in the implementation success. Have a good evening, and thanks for attending.